Hi, hello, my name is Kat, and welcome to the coziest corner of the internet. You might notice I'm in a different room today. It's because I'm home in Canada for the holidays, but I promise I'll be back to my cozy living room soon. So I don't know about you, but the winter really brings a sense of melancholy for me, but not in necessarily a bad way, more in like a cozy, lay on the couch, watch a sad movie kind of way. But I find I really gravitate towards games that are more story oriented during this time of year, that I can really just kind of, cozy up with and really get invested into some really sad and emotional stories. I've recently completed quite a few games, and they all seem to have this kind of similar thread that they were games that kind of made me tear up or that were just really emotionally driven. So I thought it would be good to have a list that kind of brought them all together. As per usual, nearly all of these games are indie developed games, so you'll hopefully find some new developers to also look into. The list is kind of based on an intersection between games like Coffee Talk and Spiritfarer, that they might be more like visual novel type stuff, or they could be more like adventure, they could even be puzzle games. So it's a real mix of different genres, but hopefully you'll find something for everybody in this. Anyways, without further ado, let's get to the list. So the first game on the list is A Short Hike. I just finished this on stream the other day, and honestly, I was kind of expecting it to just be like a cute little bird game that we could play on the weekend, and honestly, the ending completely ruined me. It's just amazing. Short Hike is an indie game by Canadian game designer Adam Robinson Yu. It's an open-world exploration game in a pixel art style in which you play little bird Claire, who is climbing a mountain to get cell phone reception. Along the way, you meet colorful characters, take on side quests to unlock helpful items, and just generally take in the scenery. The landscapes are gorgeous, and the pixel art is some of the best I have ever seen in a game. My favorite bits are just the areas where you get to do a lot of flying, because the mechanics honestly are so satisfying. Overall, this game is on the list though because of its amazing storyline and the little bits of side plots you uncover along the way. If you're looking for a cozy, emotional game, this has to be high on your list. The next game is Unpacking, which is one of my favorite games I think I've played all year. I was really anticipating it ever since we saw the trailer at one of the indie worlds, but it's way surpassed my expectation. Unpacking is an indie game by Witchbeam and Humble Games in which you follow the story of the character through their journey unpacking boxes and houses and flats throughout their life. It's described as a zen puzzle game about the familiar experience of pulling possessions out of boxes and fitting them into a new home. Part block fitting puzzle, part home decoration, you are invited to create a satisfying living space while learning clues about the life you're unpacking. The first minute I started playing this game, I was hooked. It's incredibly relaxing, but moving through each one of the periods of the main character's home. It's incredibly moving, and I'd highly recommend if you haven't played it yet. The next one is To the Moon, which is actually a game I haven't played yet, but I've been recommended it so many times that I've been watching a lot of people play it on stream. And it is honestly so gorgeous. The game is described as a story-driven experience about two doctors traversing backwards through a dying man's memories to artificially fulfill his last wish. The game is incredibly emotionally driven, and the art style is insanely gorgeous. It's another one of those indie games that I just fell in love with right away, and it's been created by the developer and publisher Freebird Games. So I've only just started playing Life is Strange True Colors, but already I'm hooked on the series. This is one of the only non-indie games on the list, but I thought it was worth adding because they've just ported them to Nintendo Switch, and they really do fill the criteria of this list. The games are a series of episodic adventure games, think the Walking Dead Telltale series, but cozy and chill. The most recent game follows Alex Chen, discovering more about the mysterious death of her brother and coming to terms with her new powers. I really appreciate the diversity and inclusion of queer storylines in these games, and I think they really hit the nail on the head of cozy games that will most certainly make you cry. Next game is another one that I haven't had a chance to play myself yet, but I've been recommended non-stop, and that's Firewatch. Firewatch is an indie game by Campo Santo and Panic. It's a single-player first-person mystery set in the Wyoming wilderness, where your only emotional lifeline is the person on the other end of a handheld radio. So you can probably guess why this one was included. The first thing that drew me to this game was how incredibly gorgeous it is. The art style really immerses you in the scenery and makes for an even more emotional game. If you're looking to get lost in the wilderness this winter, this is a great game for you. I was absolutely thrilled when I finally found this game on sale. It's What Comes After by the same creators as Coffee Talk. What Comes After is a side-scrolling adventure and a short, heartwarming story about learning how to love yourself. Help Phoebe in her journey on the train to the afterlife and back. It gives me very much Coffee Talk meets Spiritfarer vibes, so it fits the assignment of this video perfectly. I'm really looking forward to really diving into Vivi's story and meeting all the colorful spirits on the train to the afterlife. If you liked Coffee Talk, like I said, this is by the same creators, so I think you'll really enjoy this one too. The next on the list is Old Man's Journey by indie developer Broken Rules. I actually played this on iPhone originally, but I'm sure it's just as emotional and cozy on Switch. The game is described as a soul-searching puzzle adventure telling a story of life, loss, and hope. Interacting with the world around you, you'll shape the landscape to create the old man's path forward. Experience heartache and hope as you embark on a heartfelt journey through a sun-kissed world. There's also something really specific about sad old men that really get me, so this game had me crying a lot. And if you're like me and also love a good puzzle game, this is kind of the best of both worlds. You cannot write a list about story-based games on Nintendo Switch without mentioning Night in the Woods. Night in the Woods follows young adult May as she returns to her hometown and navigates life after dropping out of college. It's an adventure game in which you can pick different storylines to follow and join May on her wacky adventures with friends and family. The game is insanely relatable for any young adult, no matter your situation, really. The emotion of the game is definitely hidden in sarcasm and humor, but I found myself painfully relating to May that there was just no way not to cry a few times. It's also just really fun and reflective and will make you rethink the way you think of yourself and the definition of success. Road 96 is the next one on the list, and again, it's another one that I haven't played myself, but I've been recommended many times, and I've really enjoyed watching people stream it. The game follows several different characters throughout, but is essentially an interactive road trip. By developer Digix Art, the game's tagline is "Hitchhike your way to freedom in this crazy, procedurally generated road trip. No one's road is the same." The storylines vary from silly to emotional to exploring very deep, real-world issues. Moreover, the art style is gorgeous and soft, and coupled with a nostalgic 90s soundtrack, this game is an experience all on its own. And last but not least, the very last game on this list is the life-changing, honestly amazing game, What Remains of Edith Finch. The game is described as a collection of strange tales about a family in Washington state. As Edith, you'll explore the colossal Finch house, searching for stories as she explores her family history and tries to figure out why she's the last one in her family left alive. I have been told to play this game a million times over and really dragged my feet, but I'm so glad I finally did. The storylines of each family member are not only unique in content, but all have different gameplay styles, and I feel like you're kind of jumping into a whole new game every time. The art style is really calming and relaxing, and the sound design blew me away. I can't describe how emotional some of these storylines made me, but you need to experience them yourself. It's also got a lot of lighthearted dialogue to balance the heaviness, which makes it such a joy to play. It's definitely one of my favorites I've played in a while. Anyways, that's the list and that's it for me today. I hope I've maybe given you some new games to check out or convinced you to play something in your backlog, but trust that this winter, these are the types of games I will be cozying up with on the couch. And if you've watched this far, let me know down in the comments, what are the types of games that you like to play when the weather gets colder in the winter season? And if you did enjoy the video, I'd be forever grateful if you could please like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be notified of new content. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on games, follow me over on Instagram at CozyGamerCat, where I post gaming flatlays as well as game reviews. And if you do want to come hang out, play some games, have some chill chats, I stream over on twitch.tv/CozyGamerCat. Come over, say hi, and tell me you came from YouTube. Anyways, that's it for me today. I hope you have the coziest of days, and I'll see you next time.